Well, earlier this week, Oklahoma Watch held a forum discussing what the state budget means for Oklahoma children. Panelists included Senator A.J. Griffin, Joe Dorman, a former lawmaker who now heads the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy, and Lisa Smith, who leads the Oklahoma Commission on Children and Youth.
What kind of role does the state budget play in making a great or not so great, making Oklahoma a great or not so great place to raise kids?
Not only is it a revenue issue, but all policy is connected, and all policy, every single decision we make around policy, from transportation to budgeting to taxes to the human services policies, all impact children because they impact the quality of life in Oklahoma, the ability for their parents to get jobs, the ability for us to start businesses, not to mention the fact that things that are directly impacted, the quality of education, the quality of support services, availability of mental health treatment, availability of health care, it's all connected. It all impacts children.
The proposal to increase the oil and gas production tax, would that benefit children in any way?
Well, any new revenue stream would certainly help children, and that's one of the points that I've been most disappointed with in watching the actions at the Capitol. There have not been negotiations in good faith. We need real reforms. Many advocates have been out there asking for long-term solutions to look at what is the problem with the budget. Why can't we avoid a shortfall year after year? We've seen 4 straight years of shortfalls.
Your agency took somewhat of a cut last year. You could be facing another one, who knows? So what will happen if you take a 5% cut?
Well, we just submitted a voluntary buyout request today to the Office of Management Enterprise Services. And what that would do is that would let us, if we had I think we did it for 4 employees, and that would save us about $200,000, and we would give them some really good benefits.
What would these people, what do they do now? What would not get done because of it?
Of concern is the major division at our agency is the oversight piece, the watchdog for children's services. And I can tell you we're at an all-time high on complaints. They run around 730 a year. So everything's going to get pushed back. And what the commission looks for is quality of life for children that are in state custody and safety issues for kids.
We're going to see some agencies cut. I certainly hope DHS, Child Welfare Services, DDSD list, those can receive proper funding and receive additional revenue. And as the economy does improve, those are areas where the legislature needs to look to put additional funding in place because they do make a difference. Our child welfare services workers are overworked, underpaid, and understaffed in the department. And unfortunately, many of these agencies the last 4 years have been finding a more and more difficult time finding a way to survive. I think, Tom, at our panel, you mentioned we saw, I think it was $80 million worth of cuts with DHS over the last several years.